The Jammu and Kashmir administration announced a new industrial developmental scheme on Thursday. With a total outlay of 28,400 crore rupees, the scheme aims to encourage new investment and take up industrial development to the block level. While making the announcement, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha said the scheme will go a long way in ushering an era of socio-economic development of the region and also for catering to the aspirations of the people. The Industrial Development Scheme is from the period of date of notification up to the year 2037 and aims at creating 4.5 lakh jobs while also attracting 20,000 crore rupees investments into the Union Territory. On this edition of The Big Picture, we'll talk about the new industrial scheme and how it is going to benefit Jammu and Kashmir. Joining me on the program are Dr. Muni Raju SP, Deputy Advisor, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, Niti Aayog, Mr. Farooq Amin, Chairman, CII, Jammu and Kashmir, and Aarti Tikku Singh, Senior Journalist. Thank you to all my guests for joining me on The Big Picture today. Dr. Muni Raju SP, allow me to begin the program with you today. What is the vision with which this new industrial scheme is being implemented in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir?
Well, the Government of India has initiated this program of investments up to about 28,400 crores investments for the industries. There are a lot of industries projects are already going on. So to motivate and incentivize the existing programs and also come up with new projects and new industrial development activities in the J&K, the Government of India has taken a lot of initiatives, and this investment program is initiated. The main areas which we proposed extension of this project up to 2037. So the overall, let me say that the amount is 28,400 crore, and this scheme will start from 2021 to 2036 to 37. So the first package of initiative was in force up to 2012 since 2002, and thereafter from 2012 to 2017 is being completed. And now this initiative has taken from 2020-21 to 2036-37.
Okay.
Now mainly we have the objectives under the schemes like new and existing units both in manufacturing and service are eligible for getting the benefit out of the scheme, and new units with investment up to rupees 50 crore are eligible for capital investment incentives, and also an existing unit will become eligible for capital investment incentives and central interest subvention. If it carries out substantial expansion, that is investment additional 25% of the original investment in plant and machinery. And all eligible existing units can avail working capital interest subvention incentives under that. And also service units to become eligible for incentives on minimum investment of rupees 1 crore in the eligible value of construction building and all other durable physical assets. And trading units are but not eligible. These are the main initiatives. Under the capital investment, there are incentives to newly established units to or to existing units undergoing substantial expansion in order to encourage investment in industrially less advanced blocks, especially the blocks which we do not have industries. There we have promoted these investments, and also there are zones we have classified in different zones where industries are less. The Government of India has taken, and in fact, Jammu and Kashmir government is closely working with Government of India, especially Department of Industry and Industrial Policy and Promotion and Ministry of Commerce, and Niti Aayog is substantially facilitating between the J&K government and central ministries to boost the investments.
Okay, so these were the incentives, but how friendly and hassle-free will it be for the investors?
Definitely, it is just to government. Besides government's investments, there is also a lot of scope for the public-private partnerships in this industrial. Especially, they can come up with a lot of incentives are provided to them, tax exemptions are provided, and also interest subventions are provided, so that private investors can also come up And now, as we all know, that the land reforms have been taken place, and the land anyone can get there for development activities. That way, government is all way facilitating investments in J&K.
Okay. Mr. Farooq Amin, coming to you. Your response to this massive industrial package that is set to be implemented in Jammu and Kashmir, do you look at it as one path-breaking decision in terms of boosting the economy of Jammu and Kashmir?
Surely, I mean, we appreciate the industrial policy, what has come in for us now. I mean, we were long waiting since 1 year for this policy. We were really enthusiastic about this. We wanted that this policy should come in place. But it is somewhat on our expectations, but few things have been missed in this, because keeping in the view the geographical location of our state, we are at the extreme end. So we expected some intervention in the freight subsidies and everything, which would have encouraged our transportation and exports. We would have boosted our exports also, because we are on a terrain wherein we spend a lot of capital, and we spend a lot of money on resending the goods to the national as well as international market. Rest, I mean, in the doctors have rightly said that they have covered this capital incentive scheme, which is 5% of the total working capital what we acquire. They would give us 5% of that interest rate. Second thing is the capital investment scheme, wherein they are paying for the investment in plant and machinery. They are paying 6% to the new industries, which is a good thing. It will really encourage the new industries to come in our state. So that ways it is sort of, I mean, we are 70% satisfied with the policy. I'm sure that it will encourage people to come in our state, and the people within the state will also make the further investments. I'm happy to see that the current business have been covered in this working capital thing. So that's an encouraging sign. We were basically expecting post abolition of toll. We were expecting toll was one thing which was the sort of guarantee for our industries that they would survive at the extreme end. They would compete with the outside industries. Mm-hmm. But after abolition, there was a problem for the survival of our industries within the state. And post-COVID and August 5, we have faced a lot of issues. The current industries have faced a lot of issues. So we're expecting something more on the current industries front also. But nevertheless, we feel that it's a good start, good beginning, and it's really appreciable.
Okay, it's a good beginning, and towards that, one major incentive that's been given is the GST-linked incentive that has been brought to sort of simplify the scheme. How encouraging is that, Mr. Amin?
Yeah, GST thing, I mean, 300% of the investment, when someone invests in the plant and machinery, say 100 crores or 200 crores, they would get 3 times more of that as a refund on GST thing. That's very encouraging. That would encourage new industries to come in our state. That's fine. But again, I'm telling you that to compete with the industries in, say, metropolitan cities or states like Punjab, where we have rail approach, you yourself know that Kashmir doesn't have railhead as of now. Maybe 3 years from now, we will be more competitive because we will have the railhead in Kashmir. Jammu, okay, yes, Jammu can compete with those things. I mean, Jammu would get benefited by all these policies. And Kashmir especially, I mean, the new policy says that Zone Bs are having more capital incentives, I mean, CIS schemes. So that's a great thing. I mean, that would encourage new districts would get industrialization. They would get employment. That's a good sign.
Okay, so good beginning, but a lot more needs to be done, as being suggested by Mr. Farooq Amin. Aarti Tikku Singh, let me now bring you into the picture. So the scheme, of course, aims at boosting the region's economy and providing employment opportunities to the people of the region. What impact do you see it having in terms of social development of the Union Territory?
Tina, that's a very good question. I will not go into nitty-gritty of the package, and I will try to explain to your viewers why this package was important to begin with. Well, the first point is that Jammu and Kashmir, despite the fact that it has a very high standard of living, it really does not have any industry except for cottage industry, except for, say, handicrafts and horticulture and tourism. And that too, tourism has been dependent on the overall socio-political situation and atmosphere in Kashmir.
Yes.
In the last 30 years, I would say that tourism industry, for example, was massively hit because of the disruption, because of the insurgency backed by Pakistan, sponsored by Pakistan. And we also saw through this period a huge exodus of an entire minority community, that is Kashmiri Pandits, from the Kashmir Valley. But besides the exodus of Kashmiri Pandits, there have been, I would say, thousands of Kashmiri Muslim traders also who left the valley because there were no prospects of business, there were no prospects of, industry in Kashmir, and also because in the last 70 years or so, upper reaches of Jammu region, for example, did not really have any investments at all. In fact, Jammu upper reaches, for example, Poonch, Rajouri, Badarwa, all these areas have tremendous potential, whether